Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Alright guys, in today's video is going to go over Silver Surfer, the things I have learned in DD4 Cosmic so far using Silver Surfer, which has been a couple days now, and my changing recommendations for DD4 for your very first 4 characters. And yes, I have a feeling they're going to be a little controversial considering who's going to be left out. But guys, if you're ready for it, you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Now, before I kick this off and start talking about Silver Surfer and things that I've learned so far, I have a nice little video clip to play for you guys of actual gameplay footage of me using Silver Surfer in Dark Dimension 4. Enjoy. Blind, he's gonna retaliate, he's gonna ability block, and he's just gonna ult. This looks like a fantastic turn 1, guys. Alright, so let me see if I can get his offense downs on. So that way if I do any AoEs, his retaliation won't hurt as much. I don't know if any of these guys can hit through. Can you hit through? Cannot be blocked or counterattack, cannot be counterattack, cannot be counterattack. So there's really nothing I can do. Can I give him a blind? No, it misses. Oh, it does! It misses, but it still gives him the blind. I'll take it. I'll take it. At least one of them's gonna be missing. Oh, Proxima's gonna bite dirt. Oh, he should miss. Oh, that hits. Oh, okay, hold on. Time out. Wrong person. Wrong person. Do I still care about your offense up? I kind of do. Okay, Surfer resisted. That's different. A 3 yellow, 3 red Surfer resisted a blind from Magneto. Awesome. Alright. So this one's going to be an ability block. We want to ability block Emma. Hopefully it lands. It lands. Awesome. Alright, so we got 2 turns of ability block on Emma. So he's going to start... the longer the match goes, the more turns he takes. It's just a question of getting Minerva to survive. If I could somehow protect Minerva, I think I'd be able to roll through this pretty easily. Okay, she attacked Surfer with that blind, did nothing. Like I said, 3 yellow, 3 red, already resisting blinds from Emma. That's a pretty good character. Alright, Magneto. Alright, let's go. Alright, that's ability block. Let's do the ability block. No more blind. Oh, shoot, he's blind! Did not see he had the blind. Darn it, darn it, darn it, darn it, darn it. Like, people have one-shotted this with Hela instead of Surfer. And right now I'm still struggling to see what Hela would do differently in this matchup other than having Greg, that Greg could possibly be targeted. Oh, you're right. Also, Speed Bar and Greg. So I could see why Hela makes a big difference, because I think Surfer overall is the better character, does more damage, has more sustainability. But I could see where Greg comes in. Surfer appears, disappears. Look at this. Can't wait to show this on YouTube. I wish we could single her out in this point. Let's see. She is marked. So we go over the ability block again. Oh, that move made him disappear and that move made him reappear. I don't know, guys. The fact that I'm not one-shotting this, like, it's not Surfer's fault. I mean, he's holding in. And he's doing work, so it's not Surfer's fault. It's just a lack of Hela. I mean, I probably could literally not do Thanos and have Hela here instead and actually get a better result. I mean, it's honestly, I'm to the point where I'm convinced it's not Surfer that's the problem. It's the lack of Hela that's the problem. And I'm to the point where I could probably recommend. I mean, the problem is you really can't do two. You can't do Surfer and Hela because they take the same gear. But I mean, you could probably replace Proxima or Thanos and have Hela with Surfer, and you probably might get a better result. I mean, with all the ability blocks and the disrupts, and then she could spread them. I'm not quite there where I can say get rid of Minerva, but I mean, it's definitely. I mean, look at this. I mean, 3 stars. This guy is always the last one standing. I mean, I'm to the point where I've seen enough data where I think I'm about ready to relook at Dark Dimension and see if there's a different way to build, including Surfer. But I'm starting to wonder, are we to the point where Thanos is just good in Black Order and that may be it? I don't know if we're there yet, but I'm starting to wonder. Alright, so let's talk about my experience with Silver Surfer so far. An amazing character, even at 3 stars. Not very many characters, and actually I can't recall any off the top of my head, are viable at 3 stars. This character is one, and that's an exception. And the fact that he's this strong at 3 means that he's only going to keep getting better as we get more stars on him. He is probably going to be, if we could max him out right now, the best character in the game. So I know some free-to-play players are probably asking right now, how can you possibly have Silver Surfer as a free-to-play player? I am not a free-to-play player. This has been covered in my channel quite some time. Actually, I'll put an eye in the corner of the screen to go back to the video where I announced that I was no longer going to be free-to-play going forward. And now I pretty much only invest in the Battle Pass. I haven't made my mind about the Strike Pass yet. And I only buy new characters that I have full intents purposes of building right out of the gate. So characters like White Tiger, Moon Knight, Multiman, and Polaris are not characters that I've spent for since breaking my free-to-play habit. Now that that's out of the way, let me get back to Surfer. So, is he going to be viable for a free-to-play player at 2 stars? I honestly do not know. The stats that get increased with star level, especially the red star level, you're talking about jumps in focus, jumps in resistance. 2 things that are very great on this character, even at 3 stars, and it's only going to get better. He's going to land all his debuffs. He's going to resist a lot as that keeps going up. Now, obviously new characters get released, power creep's going to keep happening. So at some point down the line, probably a year or so, I expect the new characters to really give this guy some troubles. But I think one-on-one, I'm not sure if there's any character in the game that can beat him. And that's at 3 stars. 2 stars, like I said, I don't know. You're going to have to use your judgment as a free-to-play player, and you unlock him at 2 stars. We don't know how his shards are going to be attained after this rotation of Strike Pass is done. So we don't know how free-to-play friendly or early, mid-game, late-game friendly he's going to be release method. Speculation, he's going to the raid milestones, and which, if it is locked behind the later ones, which means it's locked behind Doom Raids, and if he's locked behind Doom Raids, then it's not going to be very friendly for early and mid-game players, even though it will still be friendly to free-to-play players that have been playing this game probably since global launch, which is about 3 years now. And if you're like, well, that sucks, I'm an early game player and free-to-play, don't lose sleep over this one. All the content is currently beatable by characters that already exist in the game, even before Silver Surfer. And by the time you catch up to late game, Silver Surfer is going to start being power creep. He's still going to be one of the best characters in the game, don't get me wrong, but he's going to start being power creep where you missing out on him, you're now going to be able to compete on different levels, and not only that, you probably have picked up extra shards of him along the way. So for the rest of this video, it's going to assume that you guys all are going to invest in Silver Surfer, and we're going to assume that 2 stars not too much different from 3 star, and even though it will lack in power. So my experience for him, he is a powerhouse. He can resist stuff. He doesn't resist stuff all the time, but he is resisting stuff. I don't have any problem him landing ability blocks, disrupts, or I've seen a few defense downs not land, and that's off the splash damage, so I don't know if those checks are as great. The transfer of power, I've seen he always gets rid of his debuffs. Gaining buffs is hit or miss, so obviously he's still missing some of that OP-ness with his focus and resistance stats. But overall, it's not like it's not happening majority of the time. I find that it's actually happening more majority of the time than not. And every day on my streams, no matter how many times I hit the reset button, Silver Surfer is always the last person standing. And that's beside a 7-star 6 red Thanos, beside a 7-star 5 red Proxima, and beside a 6 yellow and 5 red Minerva. So the question becomes, out of all the data that I collect, guys, I have a lot of data to collect, and it's also going to tie into my recommendations here. What is missing? The reason why my team of 4 are not connecting for a one-shot, even on the very first node. And it's just a lack of distraction. And what I mean by that is, I mean Greg. Heaven hella with Greg, and if Greg gets targeted, especially with things like ability block, which have shut down my characters more than a couple times right at the opening wave there with Strife. Even if he just takes some of the single target damage, every time Greg gets knocked out, Minerva gets speed bar. So I think that's what's missing. So first off, guys, my first recommendations for DD4 is make Hela your top priority. I know she's expensive, but honestly, if you want to get through this quickly and you don't want to grind it out, get Hela. I don't know what everyone else is recommending, but I'm telling you, you don't want to skip Hela. So let's talk about the team recommendation here going forward. So here's the first thing. I'm going to tell you guys right now with my team recommendations, you no longer need to build Thanos. And I know a lot of people are going to say, no, still build Thanos just because Black Order, right? I know I'm not the first person out there to say this. Black Order is on their way down. A pure arena team with Black Order is falling off, which means Black Order is now being relegated to a pretty much reliable blitz team and a war offense juggernaut. And I've said this many of times. Unless you are a whale and a true end game player, never ever build specifically for war. It's okay to build characters up for war as a late game player, but you don't want to invest a crap ton of resources in them. You don't want to invest more than the essential T4s. You don't want to invest your red promo credits, right? You want to invest those credits that help you unlock content and get you further in the game. And the question becomes, are we still at this point in the game where you want to plug 6 or 7 red stars on Thanos? And I know a lot of people that have done that so far will say they don't regret it, and I believe them. They don't regret it because they've gotten a lot of mileage out of Thanos. But going forward, seeing the horizon, is that what you really want to do in this point of the game instead of investing those promo credits into another character that can get you further in DD in Dark Dimension or in Doom Raids, which is where the rumor is you think the rewards are great there now that you're missing out on. The rumor is they're only going to get better. And knowing that probably the top arena team is going to be a hybrid here, probably for the next year or so. So that's the main reason, right? You guys can do what you want, right? If you still want to build Thanos for Black Order, by all means, go right ahead. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying he's probably not your best option anymore. Next one that's going to be controversial is, I'm going to tell you this right now. Your first 4, I do not feel you need Minerva anymore. And I know that's going to come with another backlash of people saying, wait, Minerva does a crap ton of damage with her ult, but how fast can you get that ult off? I know for me, we're not getting it off that fast. She is getting ability blocked on the first wave, and I haven't even been to the second 2 nodes yet. You know, she get ability blocked right out of the gate. I have a hard time getting her going. Not only that, for some reason, I still think this is true. I can't prove it, but I've heard this from other people, that support characters are targeted in this game. They have a higher percentage of being targeted. And Minerva, I can tell you right now, is constantly getting targeted and she's constantly getting knocked out. The match keeps going. Minerva's not there to gain energy, and I'm not getting that ult off as that often. I honestly feel like she's been power creep. They waited too long in this game to make her farmable. She's still a great solo character, don't get me wrong, but I think for Dark Dimension, especially as the power creep keeps happening in this game, I think she's just missed her mark. And to clarify, when I say stuff like that, it's not saying she's a bad character. She's probably a good recommendation for a 5th or another character to bring up to help you out in other game modes. But what I'm saying here is I find that there's an optimal first 4 that go over Thanos and Minerva. Obviously, this video is about Silver Surfer. I've already talked about Hela, so those are your first 2 characters. And honestly, the next 2 you want are the dad bros. Both Longshot and Shatterstar in their passive, now you have the T4 these, have passive healing. They heal for 20% of their health. And remember, they get speed bar on crits, so the more turns they can take, the more they're healing. And you basically want to run Longshot, Shatterstar, and Hela as raiders. Hela has passive healing with Greg, and Silver Surfer has passive healing. All these characters have passive healing, so you don't need Minerva to sustain life. They can sustain their own life. So you get turn meter on Longshot, Shatterstar, running Raider on them, run Raider on Hela. Then all of a sudden you're getting tons of characters getting marked for Silver Surfer. So no matter when turn is up or whatever, he's double tapping. He's always double tapping. And he's going to be your big damage dealer, especially the longer it takes you to get the DD4 and the more stars you can get on him. Now, obviously, free to play. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to take you to get shards on him because I don't know where he's going after the strike pass. So if you guys don't want to do the Silver Surfer route, you could probably still do Hela, Thanos, Proxima, and Minerva. Or if you really want to spend the mutant gear and skip out on some other characters, like Emma Frost, which I know another great character for global, you could probably do Longshot, Shatterstar, along with Hela and Minerva. You could throw Thanos in there if you'd like to, but ultimately at the end of the day, I think this is the best 4 you could possibly get. But at the end of the day, you definitely, no matter what team you do bring, you definitely want Hela. And that will do it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my perspective from someone who is currently running Cosmic with 4 characters and just collecting all the data that I collect and the information that I do see and able to compile that into something that's a very optimal team. If you are someone out there that has run Silver Surfer or is currently running Silver Surfer, Hela, and the Dad Bros, please reach out to me and let me know how it's going, as my theory crafting skills have pretty much pinned that as the best Cosmic team. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the information, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're new here and haven't done it already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you do not want to miss any other videos I do on my channel, don't forget that notification bell. And with all that said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.